Hi, my name's Emily. Thanks for joining me on the mat again. We're going to be doing a practice today where we're focusing on the strength of our back body. So not just the torso, the back of the torso that we normally think of, but I also want us to build some strength through the glutes and the hamstrings. So with that in mind, we are going to be all approaching this practice from a different level, and the back can be quite a sensitive place for some people. So if that's you, please keep that in mind, be gentle, and just work within what you think is appropriate for your situation. But hopefully we've got some regressions, so a little bit more at the beginner end of the spectrum, and then some things that will hopefully push you if you're on that journey to strength. All right, so with the practice, I recommend just having a blanket and roll it up so it's quite long. And we'll use it a couple of times throughout the practice, just to open up the back a little bit more. All right, so first thing to do is just have it lengthways on your mat and then come to sit on it. And then you can lay back so it's directly underneath your spine, and then just adjust so you've got a bit of support underneath your head as well. And then bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. We're just going to close down the eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or just have a soft gaze. Now I want us to be able to use our hands to really tune into the breath. So sometimes tuning to the breath is quite subtle, but hopefully by bringing the hands there, we can make it a little more accessible to draw you in a little more quickly. Just noticing the body moving in response to your in and out breaths. All right, so now let's add a little extra dimension of awareness. We're going to be working towards what I like to call 3D breathing. So that's breathing in all directions and imagining your rib cage as a kind of sphere. So first, let's see if we can breathe front to back. So really expanding the chest forward and the back deeper into your mat. Having that visualization. And once you've been able to feel into that, let's see if we can shift our focus to breathing side to side. So side body gets further away from the other side body, like we're a pancake spreading out. And then for the next layer of awareness, let's see if we can imagine the crown of the head is moving further back in space and the pelvis is moving further down towards the end of your mat. A few breaths there. And then now see if you can imagine all three of those directions happening at the same time. Front to back, side to side, up and down. Expanding and contracting in 3 dimensions. Awesome. Blink open your eyes. You can bring your hands off your body. And then we'll just start to roll over onto one side so we can easily push our way back up. And then now with the mat, let's put it sideways across the mat. And we want to lie back down and see if we can have it at this, if you wear a bra, at the bra line, or perhaps you could imagine it like where you put a heart rate monitor when you go for a run or something like that. So once you've found a comfortable position just under kind of your mid rib cage, now we're going to roll over onto the right side of our body, bringing the right hand and the left hand out in front of you. Then reach the left hand up behind you and circle the arm open, the body open as well. And then bring the left hand back to meet the right. 4 more times, just moving at your pace, opening the body and the arm, and then closing it back down. If you're moving with me, this is the 3rd one, opening and closing. 4th. We'll do 1 more. And then just gently start to roll over onto the left side and adjust yourself, hands pointing out in this direction now. And then this time it's right hand that reaches up and back to open the body and then close it back down. Again, we'll do 5 times in total. So this is the 2nd, opening and closing, and just let the breath flow naturally. We're really just aiming to mobilize through the rib cage, through the spine. Getting you moving. This is the 4th one for me. Hopefully you haven't lost count. 1 more. I think that's always me in a yoga class where I'm like, oh, is it 5? Is it 10? Who knows? Come back to center. And then just help yourself up. We'll take the blanket just to the side for now. Excellent. All right, so just find a way to come up to the top of your mat. Maybe you take a big stretch and just feel, hopefully there's a little bit more mobility. And release the hands. We're going to come through sun salutation A twice. So as you're ready to, reach the hands out and up. Maybe gaze follows the thumbs, and then roll down, hands to the mat. Knees are as bent or as straight as you like, and then lift the chest. You're welcome to keep hands on the ground, or perhaps you take hands to the shins. Come back down. Step back to a plank pose. Find a strong plank and then choose whether you'd like to have knees up or down for your push-up all the way to the mat. Squeeze the buttocks, lift the chest, cobra. And then release. Press back, perhaps through all 4s, maybe through a push-up pose. Downward facing dog. Pedal through the heels. Explore the pose. Come to stillness. And then step or hop to the top of the mat. As you arrive, let your in-breath lift the chest. And then fold into the legs. Roll up to standing. Reach up. You might look up, really lengthen through the body, and then continuous movement coming all the way back down. Hands to the mat. In-breath lifts the chest. And then out-breath lets you fold back in. Step the feet to the back of the mat. Find a strong plank pose. Knees up or down, your choice. You might lower all the way to the mat for a cobra. You might decide to do upward facing dog, or you could come into Sphinx pose, up on elbows, trying to pull the chest forward. You might look over each shoulder. And then release. Hands by your rib cage, lifting through all fours or push-up pose, and then come back, downward facing dog. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Lift the chest and forward fold. Roll up to standing. Reach up high and release the hands down by your sides. Reach the hands out and up and fold down. Fingertips or hands for support, lift the chest and then fold in, forward fold. Step the feet to the back of the mat. Find a strong plank pose. Choose your push-up and your back bend. I'm going to do Chaturanga Dandasana into upward facing dog this time. Making sure buttocks is squeezed, hands are really pushing down, shoulders are open. Downward facing dog. Roll the body forward into plank pose. From here, knees up or down to come all the way to the mat. All right, just adjust on your mat if you're a little too far forward. Take hands either side of your head, so fingertips touching temples. Squeeze the buttocks to really anchor the hips and lift the chest. And lower. Lift again. And lower. 3 more times. Twice more. Last one, hold it and release. So take the hands by your hips, palms facing down to the mat. This time, instead of lifting upper body, we're going to lift lower body. So use the hands as much or as little as you like, really testing the strength of your legs and your buttocks. All right, so again, squeeze the buttocks to anchor the hips, lift both feet, and lower. Lift again, and lower. Lift, lower. Twice more. You can do it. One more. And lower. Hands by your lower ribs. Press up into all fours. Tuck the toes. Push the hips back. Puppy pose. Enjoy the release. Press the body forward over the hands, so shoulders over wrists. Keep the toes tucked. Adjust so that the knees are under your hips. And then hover the knees up off the mat. Feeling the connection to your belly. Legs are working a little harder. Arms are working a little harder. Bring the right knee into your chest. Curl through the spine. And then flex your foot as you take your right leg back, and as if you're trying to stamp the ceiling. Just making sure that left knee doesn't come too far off the ground. Bring it forward, right knee to chest. And then stamp right foot to the ceiling. Once more. Excellent. Bring the right toes down. Let's see if we can switch straight over to the other side. You can do it. Take the left knee into your chest. And then stamp the left foot to the ceiling. Squeeze the buttocks. Twice more. Knee to chest. And then stamp the foot. Knee to chest. Don't hover. Don't take the right knee up too high. And then stamp the ceiling. Excellent. Toes to the mat. Press back, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Feel the heat you've created. Take the right leg to the ceiling. Bend through the knee and open the hips. Find a little bit of opening while you're working. And then bring right knee into the chest. Press the body forward. Step the right foot in between your hands or just help it there. Awesome. From here, let's walk the hands forward. And then kick off to bring left foot high towards the ceiling, standing split. You could find a short balance here if you want to. Bring the hands back down. Bring left knee to meet right knee under the body, a little flamingo squat, and then open up left foot to the ceiling. Close it down for number 2. And open up. Again, number 3, bring all the knees, both knees underneath you, and then reach left foot to the ceiling. Excellent. Step the left foot to the back of the mat, finding a low lunge. Then from here, see if you can really, really strongly push off the floor, bring right knee into chest, and then press back so right foot can point towards the ceiling, 3-legged dog. Bring the right foot down. Take left foot to the ceiling. Bend through the knee and open the hips. Left knee comes forward in towards your chest. And then step the left foot in between your hands. Excellent. Walk the hands forward. And then transfer your weight into the left foot. Right foot comes high, standing split. If you want to try the balance on this side, you can do that. Always focusing on really lifting the lifted leg so you can tune into the strength in the right buttocks. All right, as you're ready, bring fingertips back down to the mat. Bend both knees underneath you, flamingo squat, and then open up right foot to the ceiling. Twice more, bring it in. And open up. Once more, bring it in. And expand. Excellent. Step the right foot to the back of the mat, low lunge. Press through the hands, really dome the upper back, and bring left knee to chest. Press back, 3-legged dog, left leg lifts. And then bring the left foot down to the mat. Downward facing dog. Come high onto the toes, and then really try to round the spine as you push the body forward into plank pose. Choosing a kneeling or a full push-up and a back bend of your choice. Finding your way back to downward facing dog. Knees come to the mat. Press the hips back, extended child's pose. And then from here, let's walk the hands over towards the left. Perhaps right hand goes on top of left hand. Breathe into the right side body. And then cross all the way over to the other side. This time, left hand might come on top of right hand. Breathe deeply into the left side body. And then come back to center. Lift the knees, downward facing dog. Step or hop the feet to the top of the mat. Take a little supported lift. And then forward fold. Roll up to standing. And reach up to the ceiling. Hands by your sides. Take a moment here to reset, to catch your breath, and to tune your focus on what's to come, and meeting that challenge with courage. Awesome. Blink the eyes open, reach the hands high, and roll down, hands to the mat. Lift through the chest, look forward, and forward fold. Step the feet to the back of the mat, find plank pose. Choose your push-up and back bend. You can get a little bit of creativity into your practice by changing those push-up and back bends to suit where you're at today. We're all meeting in downward facing dog. Come up high on the balls of your feet. Roll the body forward, find plank pose. And then lower all the way to the mat, kneeling or full push-up to get there. And then just adjust back on your mat so you've got a bit of space in front of you. All right, reach both hands forward. So there's kind of two ways to do this next move. One's going to be a bit more supported, and then one's going to really test you, okay? So just pick where you're at today, or perhaps do a couple of one of the other. Just mix it up, make it work for you. So first option is to have hands grounded as you reach them forward. Second option, which is quite a lot more difficult, is to have them reaching forward with no support. So first, I'll just do the one where it's supported, but we'll both do the same movement. But one will just have a bit of a connection to the ground. So wherever you are, reaching forward, take the right hand into your body and then reach it out to the side. And then lift right hand towards the ceiling to create a twist through your body. Bring the right hand back down, reach the right hand forward. Left hand out to the side and reach it high. Bring it back down. So we'll switch it over. This time I'll do the lifted version. Hands reaching forward, feet can reach back. Right hand to the side, lift and open. And then come back through center. Left hand, reach. Once more, each side, right hand to the side, reach and open. And then over to the left. Excellent. Hands by your ribs. Adjust yourself back onto the mat. And then lift back up into all fours. Tuck the toes, press the hips back. Puppy pose. All right, untuck the toes. And then come to sit back on your heels. Or you might come into a kneeling position. So this next one, again, just depends on how you're feeling today. Essentially, we're going to be doing camel pose, which is a back bend like in this shape. So reaching down towards the feet, but we're going to be doing it in a really flowing manner. So that might look like one hand is grounded and then we lift and open. Or it might look in another way, like hand is floating and we lift like this. All right, so it just depends on whether we can reach down to the mat, if it feels good in our back. All right, let's do it. Okay, so right hand either comes down onto the floor or it reaches back behind you. Left hand sweeps out and up. And then come back through center, all the way over to the left. Make it really fluid. I'll do one of the lifted ones this time, moving over to the right. Squeezing the buttocks wherever you are. Over to the left. Once more each side, over to the right. And over to the left. Excellent. Come to sit back on the heels, walk the hands forward, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Raise the right leg to the ceiling. Bend through the knee and open the hip. Bring the right knee into your chest, hug it in really close, and step the right foot in between your hands. All right, so from here, lift the torso up a little, take the hands back, palms face down for arrowhead. See if you can separate belly from thigh. So you've got lots of strength through the right glutes rather than hanging on in some way through the hips. You almost have to flex the spine a little bit to find that strength. All right, I'm going to shift backwards on my mat so I've got enough space. You might need to too. All right, from here, all your weight comes into the right foot for airplane pose. Then tip, so you come to standing, left knee to chest, hands into heart center. You might choose to come back into airplane pose, or perhaps you reach hands forward, warrior three. Wherever you are, come back, knee to chest. You might be reaching hands up. Moving forward. Woohoo, finding the wobbles. Fighting to keep stable. Coming back in. Excellent. One more reach out. Oh, really feeling the buttocks working now. Step, oh gosh, that really fell apart. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Reach the hands up. Stabilizing just for one breath, and then bring the hands down. Right knee into chest, and then press back, three-legged dog. Bring the right foot down. Back on stable footing. Lift the left leg high. Bring the knee, oh no, bend the knee and open the knee towards the ceiling. Bring the knee in towards your chest and step the foot in between your hands. Excellent. Lift the body up a little bit. Find that strength by rounding through the lower back just a little bit, finding a straight line. Take the hands behind you, arrowhead pose. And really connecting with the left buttock. So really trying to wake it up here. Again, perhaps adjusting the pose a little bit if you need some space in front of you. You kind of know where you're going now. Transfer all your weight into the left foot. Lift the right foot to find airplane pose. Bring your right knee into your chest, hands to heart center, and then deciding perhaps you're adding on hands reaching towards the front of the mat as you find warrior three or airplane pose. And then coming back upright. Reaching it out, warrior three or airplane. Coming back into standing. And then reaching it out. Plant the right foot at the back of the mat, adjust your feet. Find your crescent lunge. And then release hands to the mat. Left knee into the chest. Press back, three-legged dog. And bring left foot down. Come high onto the balls of your feet, roll forward. Plank pose. Choose your push-up and back bend, or perhaps you skip it this time if you want to, and maybe do some cat-cows. Wherever you are, just landing in downward facing dog when you're ready. All right, step or hop into a seated position. Oh, well done. All right, so we're going to come back to laying on our mat again. So when you're ready, just have your feet in front of you, hip distance apart with the knees bent. Reach the hands forward and roll down for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, maybe lift it up a little bit, 2, 1. We got there. All right, so just pick your feet up off the floor and then let them drop about hip distance apart. That normally gets them into quite a good position for you. All right, squeeze the buttocks, start to roll the spine up off the floor. And then roll it down. Roll it up. Really initiate the movement from the buttocks. This time when you lift, stay lifted. And then if you can add on, take right foot towards the ceiling, point the toes. Roll the spine back down onto the mat and lift. Take right foot down, switch it over, left foot to the ceiling and take it down. Lift it up. Switch it over, right foot to the ceiling, roll it down. This time lift it up, fast, lower, fast. Lift it up. Switch it over, right foot comes down, left foot comes high, roll the spine down. Lift it up and down, up and down. Last one, lift, bring the left foot down and then roll the spine down. Hug your knees into your chest. If it's comfortable, you might rock and roll here to a seated position or just roll to one side and find the seat that way. Cross the legs, however's comfortable for you. So you might keep them easy cross. Excellent. So bring your hands in front of your heart like this. Twist around to the right. I'm mirroring you now. And then bring left hand on the outside of your right knee. And then right hand behind you for support for the twists. Keeping the position through the torso, reach right hand out and up. And then you're kind of trying to aim your side bend over your left leg. And roll down through center. Walk the hands forward. Start to press all the way back up. We'll do a quick cross of the legs. Excellent. Hands in front of the heart. This time twisting over to the left. Find the squeeze through the torso to find the twist. And then right hand to the outside of left knee. Left hand for support behind you. Take the left hand out and up, trying to aim the body over the right leg. And then roll it down. Walk the hands forward. Walk your hands back in. And then come to join me down on the mat. You might like to bring the blanket back underneath your mid-rib cage and find your Shavasana from here, reaching the legs out long, having the palms face the ceiling and close down the eyes. If it feels good, you might like to have the arms in a bit of a cactus position, bent at the elbows. It's up to you. Just letting these moments of stillness and silence let you return to that easy breath at the beginning. Using your whole chest and belly, expanding front to back, side to side, and up and down. If this is all the quiet and stillness you've got time for today, you might like to just roll to one side and find a comfortable seat. But if you've got the space to rest here for a little longer, I invite you to do that. If you are closing the practice here, bring hands to heart center as a symbol of gratitude to yourself for making the time and space to contribute to your health and well-being. And thank you for joining me on the mat. Namaste. Blink your eyes open. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the practice. I really hope we can see each other on the mat soon. See you later.